Welcome back to another Medtech Snapshot, the one question, one answer digest medical device podcast. With me today is a longtime friend of mine, Shelly Gallup. She's the SVP of RAQA over at Glidewell Labs right here in Irvine, California. And we're going to be diving into a couple different topics today, everything from how do you get a job in the RAQA space? What are some of the things that people at the executive level are looking for? We're also going to get into complaint handling. I know a really fun topic, but an important topic for a business that has commercial product. So stay tuned. So we're diving first into the hiring side of RAQA. So what I want to talk about here is, really looking beyond the resume. As an SVP yourself, I'm curious to get your feedback on what really gets your attention about a candidate, and what advice do you have for RAQA kind of job seekers today to help improve their chances of landing that next opportunity?
Well, I mean, the resume gets you in the door, right? And I think that once you have the interview, first impression's everything. And something that I've experienced is when people are interviewing, they don't know how to present themselves in a in a business type, environment. So they will they don't dress appropriately necessarily. When you have an interview, even if it's on a Zoom call, you should still dress for the part. I've had people that interview and they're wearing sweatshirts. On the interview, even on a Zoom.
There's that old phrase of dress to impress, right? I think I would always want to show up overdressed than underdressed. What do you think about that?
I completely agree. Dress for the position you want, not for the position you have, is what I've always heard, right? And so, I've even had a guy came to an interview and it looked like he pulled he had a dress shirt on. And I'd never seen such a wrinkled shirt. It was like he pulled it out from the bottom of the laundry basket, and put it on, added a tie, and called it a day. I thought this was a good look. So, first impressions are really important. What I'm also looking for is a good fit for the department. Are they a good fit for the company? How are they going to interact with other people? And that's really important. So, if I'm, during the interview, I'm looking for somebody who's not going to drone on and on and on, that's just going to ramble. I want them to be self-aware, to make pauses, to allow for interjection and conversation.
So what you're saying is brevity is a good skill.
Yes, very much so. Be clear, be concise, get to the point. I also am looking for somebody that can give me examples in what they do. So if they're saying, I can bring product to market faster and without any delays, then I'm going to say, well, how, give me some examples. How do you do that? So I want to hear, I got approval in Mexico in 6 months and it normally takes 12 months. Or I put together a 510K application that I submitted and I was able to get it cleared within the 90 days without any request for additional information. That's what I'm looking for.
I think that feedback right there is so spot on, because when I'm interviewing people, the one thing that I constantly see is when a question is posed, they give the definition of the term or whatever it is, not exactly what they did with it. Yeah. So I think that's spot on what you just covered.
Yeah. So, I think that's really what I'm looking for, and like I said, how they're going to fit in with the department, how they're going to be received. So not only will I interview with them, but I also have people come in and meet the team and allow the team to have some, to see how they kind of feel about working with this person.